is Sports Sound International Football. Listen live on digital, online or on BBC Sounds.
It was always going to be the key doubleheader in Northern Ireland's World Cup campaign. 2 games at home, back-to-back, after kicking off with a win in Luxembourg.
As Northern Ireland with the man advantage take the free kick and score it! And it's Justin Devaney! And just like that, the advantage opens up.
Slovakia shocked the group with a win against Germany in match 1. But normal service was resumed by the favourites when Michael O'Neill and his players went to Cologne.
Looks like it will be the Liverpool man over the wall. Oh, and it's a great free kick for Germany. And he puts a finger to his ear and shakes his head. He's had his critics, but he's won the game for the Germans.
So 1 win, 1 defeat on the road. Now the first home game of the campaign, and a tough test according to the manager, but his young guns are ready.
Well, they're a very experienced team. They've got a lot of international football, under the belts with this group of players. They've come off the back of a good Euro 2024 as well. So, we know it'll be a tough game tonight, and we have to be our very best to try and take what we want from the game.
Well, good evening from Belfast, wherever you're listening to us on BBC Radio Ulster, 5 Live Sports Extra, BBC Sounds. 2 home games for Northern Ireland in 4 days that will make or break Northern Ireland's chances in this qualifying group for next summer's World Cup finals. And even if things don't go as planned, there's always still the strong possibility of a playoff place via the Nations League position. Will that be required? If so, we'll be keeping an eye on a number of other teams. We'll be looking for some results from their groups. But all of that is to come in the future. Hopefully that won't be required. And hopefully a place in the top 2 in this group will be secured. But for now, it is the visit of the surprise group leaders, Slovakia. Germany also taking on Luxembourg tonight. And there is a chance, of course, that Northern Ireland, Slovakia and Germany could all be sitting on the same number of points at the midway point of this campaign. So lots of action to come, lots of drama between now and 10 o'clock. Former Northern Ireland internationals Jim Magilton and George McCartney are here to keep me right. We'll hear from them shortly. But of course, first of all, we need to get you the team news, don't we? And Michael O'Neill has been probably sitting this morning mulling over his selection. Michael Clark, our match commentator, can tell us what he's gone with. Michael.
Thank you, Joel. It's a vitally important night as the hosts attempt to put an end to Slovakia's perfect start to this campaign, and Michael O'Neill, after all his pondering, has decided to keep the faith with the vast majority of the squad from the match against Germany, making only 1 change from that defeat, with Dan Ballard coming in place of Owen Toll. So it's Bailey, Peacock, Farrell and goals once again, Hume, McNair and Ballard the back line, Bradley Galbraith, Shea Charles earning his 30th cap, Ali McCann and Justin Devaney in midfield, and Isaac Price now on 10 international goals up top alongside Jamie Reid. For the visitors, some big news: 2 key players not available for them tonight. No David Hanko of Atletico Madrid, and Napoli's Stanislav Lobotka also out. They have 123 caps between them. It's certainly a blow for their head coach Francesco Calzona. So Burnley's Martin Dubravka in goals, former Inter Milan defender Milan Skriniar in centre back with Shatka, Jon Ber and Obert are the full backs. Duda Horozovsky and Barrow in midfield, and Ivan Schranz, who missed the previous 2 matches, gets the nod over Juric in an attack that also has Leo Saar and Middlesbrough's David Strelic.
So there we go. John O'Neill will be watching the action alongside Michael Clark when things kick off in 10 minutes or so. We'll get the thoughts on that selection from Jim and from George in a moment or two. But first, Michael O'Neill has been speaking about his choices, and he's beginning about that return of Daniel Ballard to the team. This is what he's had to say before the match.
Well, look, he's a Premier League player, a lot of experience both at club and international level, brings a physical presence as well, so he's a big miss for us in Germany not to have Daniel available. So great that he's available tonight.
Conor Bradley captains the side, you're thinking there?
Well, look, we've rotated the captaincy. Trey did it for the first 2 games, and on the rotation, Connor's the next one in line. So I think that the lads enjoy that. I think it spreads the leadership and responsibility across the group, and Connor's more than capable of that job.
So the thoughts of Michael O'Neill in terms of his team selection. Let's get the thoughts of Jim Magilton and George McCartney. He mentions it, Jim, in terms of needing to defend well and having Daniel Ballard back in both of these games. If Northern Ireland are going to get anything, defending well is something that is a must.
It is. Dan has been outstanding for Northern Ireland since his debut. He is crucial to Sunderland's existence in the Premier League. I think that he has shown fantastic leadership qualities. He does bring a physicality. If you look at the goals against Germany, had he been present, would have been different, I would suggest, maybe. So that's a big plus for him.
Even if you're standing in the dressing room, George, and you're looking around and you see that Daniel Ballard is back, must give everybody a lift, mustn't it?
Yeah, of course. He's a big presence in our leader. We're talking about his defensive capabilities, but I would also say in the other box as well, he's a big attacking threat at club level, but also high Northern Ireland play, high Michael sets up. Set plays are very important, wide free kicks, corners. You're hoping Dan tonight he might get in the end of 1 or 2 of those.
And this Slovakian team are giants.
Huge, aren't they?
They're huge. So defending set piece is going to be really important.
So what do we think, Jim? I mean, Slovakia arrive here with 2 wins. The eye-catching result is the win against Germany.
Yeah.
And then they laboured to beat Luxembourg.
Yeah.
So we don't really know. And then we look at their away form, and they've lost 4 of the last 5 away from home. So hard to know maybe what we're going to get without 2 of their star men. Yeah,
but if you're going to go into a game like this on the back of 2 wins, you're going to assume that there is a lot of confidence within the group. The Germany result was such a surprise result, and that would have given everybody within that group huge fillip of confidence. I just think that this is a must-win for Northern Ireland. I think on nights like this, given the task the next game will present, I just think this is an opportunity for Northern Ireland to win the game. And I think that Michael has set them up to win the game, and so I'm really looking forward to it.
Everybody says, George, don't they, about you can't look beyond the next game, and we're not looking at the Germany game. The way Slovakia have started the group probably helps to maintain that focus. If Slovakia were arriving here, having lost 2 games, or a defeat and a draw or something, maybe it would be easy to look ahead to Germany, but they're arriving as the group leaders.
Yeah, I think your next game is always your most important game, and tonight the players, I'm sure Michael has had them focused throughout training all week.
And to be fair, if they lose tonight, George, it kind of puts the pin in the balloon for Monday night, because to have anything really at stake in the group, it is a must-win, isn't it?
Well, Jim's hit the nail on the head there. It's a must-win. Win tonight, 3 points. Then you look forward to the Germany game. But if you're going off Northern Ireland's home record, the last 7 games, 6 wins, a draw, and Slovakia's away form, it's pretty poor. So we should be getting into the game, being at home full of confidence. Hopefully we'll play on the front foot. We start the game well. We don't need to get an early goal. We will get chances. Settle into the game for the first 10-15 minutes, find your feet, find your way, then hopefully we can kick on.
But an early goal always helps.
and if there's going to be an early chance, Jim, just hope it falls the Isaac Rice.
Yeah, well, that's right, exactly. And listen, confidence. George will tell you, this momentum thing, the confidence, the opportunity. Had this been the first game, right, in the campaign, and Slovakia come here losing 4 to 5, you really fancy your chances, because they're not good travellers. So it's set up nicely.
But Price 8 goals in his last 9 games again.
Yeah.
Being at home, you're hoping he'll get the opportunities to add that tonight.
Well, it is the first home game of this campaign. We'll pause now for the anthems, and then we'll hear from our commentary team of John O'Neill and Michael Clark.
And now the national anthem of Northern Ireland.
Inside a sold-out Windsor Park, Northern Ireland embark upon their most important match of this World Cup qualifying campaign to date. A battling performance in Cologne wasn't enough to add to their win in Luxembourg. And yet it isn't Germany who sit above Northern Ireland in Group A. It's tonight's opponent Slovakia, who not only have maximum points, they are also yet to concede. The Falcons made history and headlines globally when they put the Germans to the sword in Bratislava, and they found a way to sneak a stoppage time victory in Luxembourg last time out. They arrive in Belfast without two key figures in David Hanko, who remains in Madrid awaiting the birth of his second child, and Stanislav Lobotka, who was injured in Napoli's comeback win over Genoa on Sunday evening. Could that further embolden Michael O'Neill and his team, who come into this match with an impressive home record? They tend to win here. Can they do it on a night where it really does feel must win? Still a lot of work to be done regardless of the result, but winning makes the job so much more palatable. It was Steve Lomas who sealed a friendly win over Slovakia back in 1998, but Slovakia have won all the competitive encounters between the nations, including the memory that still stings of the Euros playoff final in 2020. Northern Ireland outdone after extra time, but it's a different Northern Ireland team, John O'Neill. These are different times, and like any football match, the objective is always the same: get out there and win it.
Well, that's right. I mean, and everybody knows the importance of the game. The fact that they beat Germany has thrown the group sort of wide open a little bit. But as the lads were saying before the start, this is a must-win. I mean, if we don't win here tonight, we're probably going to have to go to Germany and win in Slovakia. We're going to have to beat Germany on Monday and go to Slovakia and win. To hopefully to try and get through to the second spot. But
Jimmy Nicholson had passed away.
I think they're going to have a minute's silence here.
The supporters of the ground are just being read out a few names: Peter McParland, Willie Irvine, Jimmy Nicholson and Willie McFall, who have passed away in recent months, and there's going to be a moment's remembrance before kick-off. Both sets of players are around the halfway line, and we'll pause to hear their great careers and lives celebrated by everyone in attendance here at the National Stadium at Windsor Park.
And an icon of a rich history. Please join us now in a moment's applause for the four individuals who have given so much to our game.
Who until May was the last surviving member of the illustrious 1958 World Cup Finals team. Willie Irvine, who grew up not too far away from where I grew up in Carrickfergus, a legendary figure who was prolific for Linfield and equally prolific for the likes of Burnley and Brighton and Hove Albion and Preston North End. Jimmy Nicholson, who passed away yesterday, a Belfast-born man who played for Manchester United and Huddersfield Town, and last weekend we also lost Willie McFall, who hailed from Coleraine, and what a great career he had as a player and a manager.
Yeah, I knew Willie McFall. He was a gentleman. We did a few coaching summers together, and it was good for him. It was very sad to hear that. Sorry, mate, I was saying there that this is a game we have to win, and I think we have the players out on the field to do that, but we've got to impose ourselves on them right from the start, get the crowd into the game, and try and get an early lead and take it on from them. We don't want them sort of getting possession of the ball and slowing the game down, which they can do because technically they are very good. But you've got to ask yourself, they struggled to beat Luxembourg, so we should be able to get at them. I think the teams are actually quite well matched.
Voice of John O'Neill, World Cup veteran and of course former Leicester City defender as well. Northern Ireland playing from left to right in their light green jerseys, dark green shorts and white socks. Slovakia in their white shirts and shorts with blue socks. We'll run you through the team news in a moment, but we're 20 seconds underway and Northern Ireland are pressing high up the pitch and they've won a throw, and it's Isaac Price who's over there. I think he's going to cede early duties because he wants to get himself into or around the edge of the penalty area. Charles laying the ball off to McCann, and Slovakia winning the ball back and moving it to the Burroman Strelic. So just quickly through the team news: Peacock, Farland, Nets, Hume, McNair and Ballard the back line, Devaney, McCann, Charles, Galbraith and Bradley. Northern Ireland's midfield, and Price and Reid are up front for Slovakia. It's Dubravka, Jomber, Shatka, Skriniar and Obert, Barrow, Horozovsky and Duda in the middle of the park, and Schranz and Saar either side of Strelitz in attack for them. John, your thoughts on the way Michael O'Neill's approached this game with only the one change?
Well, I think it's the only thing he could do.
Northern Ireland immediately winning the ball back after being put under a bit of pressure, and Ballard back into the team, the man I was asking you about, getting his toe on it. And a good defensive effort by three Northern Ireland players swarming their opponents.
Yeah, I was just going to say there, Michael, Ballard was obviously going to come straight back into the team, and when you look at it, that's the strongest team as he's going to be able to put out. And we were talking about, them being a young team. There's a lot of experience in there now as well, and I think those players, have got to seize the initiative and seize the moment. Basically, this is a big match.
Oh, nearly seizing the ball, Conor Bradley pressing, but the ball just evading him as they're able to retrieve it now with Sunderland's Trey Hume. Shea Charles with a little dummy in a pass, and Price is hooking it over the top of the defence, and there's a bit of panic back there, and Lubomir Shatka has launched it into touch. He wasn't taking any chances.
All he had to do was say, get a side foot back to the goalkeeper, but he wasn't confident to do that, and we were talking about that just before we came on here. Michael, we've got to put the back four they have there and put them under pressure, because a lot of times I don't think that they're very good defenders. They're not used to that sort of long ball, high pressure game,
and they are not a team that's been particularly impressive on the road. Granted, they were able to get the win that they needed, Slovakia in Luxembourg, in dramatic fashion in the 90th minute, when we were licking our wounds about what was going on in Cologne, and then thinking, well, there's a draw there, and then we got the notification through that had changed. Northern Ireland fans making plenty of noise as they move the ball from the centre of the pitch all the way to Conor Bradley inside the right edge of the area, brought it down in his chest. Little step over from him as he moves the ball back to Hume. Diagonal right footed cross into the penalty area, nodded away. And Northern Ireland thought twice about going to try and close down Matthias Barrow, but his pass was wayward, and it's the home team back in the ball, John. Yeah,
it's been a good start. We haven't put them, the goalkeeper hasn't much to do, but certainly we've got most of the play. We're passing it better than they have.
Ballard rolling the ball, just slipped there as he struck it, but
what a great ball that finished, didn't it?
Wonderful pass despite slipping, moving it out to the left side, and Isaac Price back to goal, bringing the ball down under control, all right-footed touches, moving him towards the far touchline and able to find Shea Charles. He's looking at the back post for Bradley, nearly worked as well, and the noise will tell you it's a corner to Northern Ireland.
Yeah, it was good play by Pearce. He couldn't, Price, he couldn't get the ball in, swept it back to Shea Charles. Bradley was lurking at the back post, and the defender did very well because he was under serious pressure from him, and he did well to get it out for a corner.
Cagliari defender Adam Oberts with the header behind for the corner kick, which is going to be put in by Crystal Palace's Justin Devaney. Northern Ireland with all of their outfield players lurking around the penalty area, quite a few in there as well. It's a deep ball into the middle, and the keeper has gone down on his knees. I don't think the referee, who I should tell you is Glenn Nyberg from Sweden, was feeling too sympathetic there to Martin Dubravka. That could have been embarrassing for him.
Yeah, I don't think that was a free kick, and I don't think the referees give a free kick, but it's just gone over the top of him, and I think it's actually put Dan Ballard off at the back post. He expected to go free to get something on it.
Approaching the 5th minute in Belfast, Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 0. In this first home international for Northern Ireland on match day 3 of these World Cup qualifiers. The chance to be in North America next year. What they're all playing for, and they've maintained this early period of possession, finding Galbraith. Lovely footwork from him, and Bradley denied a route through on goal by Skriniar, the Slovakian captain, who makes a really good covering challenge, and they've got themselves a free kick now for a foul on Obert.
Yeah, I think he's saying that Galbraith caught him a little bit late. He may have done, but there was minimum contact there, but they're always going to give a free kick.
Well, so much made of the experience of both teams in their own ways, but counting through the caps, this Northern Ireland starting 11 with 318 international appearances, 498 before tonight for the Slovakian starting 11, and time will tell how much they miss those two big figures that aren't available for them. They're defending here at the moment. Shea Charles thought about the pass, went 11 with 308 team international.
Rovsky and find his intended target.
They've been poor in possession, I've got to say. The number of times they've given the ball away already, just under very little pressure, but just been sloppy, trying to play balls around all, over-hitting them, under-hitting them. It just shows you that even players playing for Slovakia, they can be upset when you're playing against Northern Ireland. The atmosphere is good, the pressure's on. As I said, they've got to try and maintain that all the time, try and get where they possibly can.
Slovakia qualified for the 2010 World Cup. They've made it to the last 3 European Championships as well. Reid was offside.
But again, space down the outside of the centre halves. Skriniar and Shakhtar, I'm not too sure how comfortable they are with people running down the outside. So can Isaac Price have said, can he get in between fullback and centre half? Can Ethan Galbraith get in between fullback and centre half as well? Just to try and unsettle them as much as you possibly can.
Slovakian back line have been on the ball a lot in the opening 7 minutes. Very comfortable in possession, as is the goalkeeper, Dubravka.
There's another one. Yeah, another one. Slight little bit of pressure, just needlessly kicked out of play. However, we all know in international football, in any football, when you're on top, when you're feeling good and the energy's with you, can you create that chance? Can you capitalise and use that as a springboard?
Sarr tries to lift it in, but there's nobody there in a white shirt, and it falls to Price. Can he kickstart a counter-attack? Shea Charles runs beyond him. Reid, Charles, almost worked out for Price. Recycled to Bradley. Devaney was in so much space in the far side. Instead, it's an easy take for Martin Dubravka of Burnley now.
Some super football there as well, wasn't there? 1 touch, 2 touch, and again the energy of the players, they're breaking forward, they're wanting to get involved in the attacking side of the game, which is a huge positive for Northern Ireland.
Obert, one back by McCann, who quietly goes about his job alongside Charles. Having a good season with Preston North End in the Championship. Ali McCann, such a tight division right now, early in the season. Ballard tries to switch to Devaney. Price back to Devaney. Still charges forward on his right foot. First effort on goal, and again Conor Bradley was in so much space on this near side. Bradley and Devaney pushing up on the right and left. This time it was a Crystal Palace player trying to create something.
Well, apologies, I believe he lost us there for a moment. We'll not take it personally. That was our colleagues Thomas Kane and Stephen Cragen.
They missed some pearls of wisdom there, Michael, didn't they? Oh.
Hopefully we've some of our best stuff left.
Well, the best thing is that they didn't score anyway, although I think that the lads on TV were doing a good job for us.
10 minutes gone here at Windsor Park. Northern Ireland 0, Slovakia 0. And the ball won back by Northern Ireland again. Bradley doing well to get it, but the pass, as he played it, he was bundled over. He hasn't been given a free kick. Play has gone on, and it's a loose ball now from Saar, not the first one from Slovakia, and it's with Ballard on the halfway line as he steps forwards looking for a pass.
I tell you, the pitch is cutting up. That's 2 or 3 times you've seen players slipping all over the place.
Doesn't look like a good night for ankle joints, does it?
Bad pass. It was a lovely move between Ballard and Galbraith. It's just the final pass was too much. He's
spotted an infringement there. The assistant was flagging.
I've no idea what that was for.
So the referee is coming across, and it's going to be a free kick to Northern Ireland just on the touchline. I think there was a little pull perhaps on Bradley as he went to run for the ball. I don't think he was ever going to get the pass, but he'll take the free kick anyway. He's happy enough for that decision to be given his way.
It's the first time I've ever seen him use the spray so far away from goal and almost on the touchline. He's just put a little art down there, and of course the lads have put the ball nowhere near it. And that fourth official, this is nonsense. Fourth official's coming now to make him move the ball back 2 yards.
He's pointing to where vanishing spray has since vanished.
It's gone.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, anyway, the ball's about a foot off the near touchline. It's Shea Charles standing over it.
Good delivery in there.
Left hand above his head, right-footed. He curls the ball in, and Dubravka, well, again a nervy bit of keeping from him. He's decided to punch it away, and he stayed down, and someone's clattered him, presumably in the aftermath, and the Northern Ireland fans make their thoughts heard, but it's a free kick.
It wasn't the best of free kicks. It was too close to him. He was coming out all the time, and I've just watched this again. He's just run into Ballard. I don't understand how he's given a free kick. And there's minimal contact. I mean, players should be embarrassed there. Ballard's arm may have brushed along the side of the neck, but it's not that serious. And he's got two physios out there now. I mean, this is just to kill the game because they haven't started well, and Northern Ireland have been on the front foot from the minute the game kicked off.
Francesco Calzona, the Italian manager in charge of Slovakia, pacing the touchline and having a chat with a couple of his players about what he wants to see. He won't be too pleased with what he's seen so far from them.
He won't. No, the keeper doesn't look too happy down there. When he came for that, I thought it was a poor cross from Shea Charles. I thought he should have come and collected it very easily, and he made a meal of it. And I think the sort of potentially got a bang on the head. Might have been trying to cover his blushes a little bit. But passing wise, they've been knocking it into touch under no pressure at all. I think it's important for us, to get something from this period of the game when we're clearly on top.
Coming up to 13 minutes, the ball back again with the former Newcastle United goalkeeper Dubravka, who's since recovered. The ball played across the goal mouth by Skriniar, their captain, as they try and progress out. And my goodness, the passing would make anybody nervous at the moment. Northern Ireland are squeezing them back, and Slovakia have rolled the ball out of play.
Yeah, they've pushed up almost right into the 18-yard box, and they've given us a throw in almost level now with the 18-yard box. And that's crazy play. Why don't they just put the ball up the park?
Well, on the other side of the coin, it has to be admired how hard Northern Ireland are working to make those mistakes happen as well, but now having to do a bit of defensive work as Strelic goes down, feeds the contact from Ballard.
I'm surprised Ballard hasn't been booked there.
Stepped across his man.
He stepped across him. It was a good touch by him. And he just side puts it past him, and he maybe say that Trey Hume was there, but it definitely was a foul.
Yeah, there was space behind that Northern Ireland defence, and of course that's the other side of it. You have to be so careful with. It's one thing making a good start in the game, but don't leave yourself wide open either.
Absolutely not. We've gone to sleep here.
Took a short free kick. Northern Ireland didn't seem to realise the free kick was taken, and the ball's moved back to Andre Duda, now to the left to Obert, one of the three changes made by Slovakia, and the header clears the Northern Ireland penalty area and arrives at Price on the far side of the pitch, and he's now dribbling inside, and he
needs to be careful.
Need to be careful not to lose the ball there.
Done well.
found the pass, found Hume, and he's trying to hit the line where Reid is industriously charging towards the ball, pinballing around a little bit at the moment. Throw in eventually to Slovakia down in front of us on the halfway line. Almost a quarter of an hour played, still scoreless, and but for a couple of nervy moments from crosses for Dubravka. Neither goalkeepers had to work overly hard, have they?
No, I don't think Peacock Farrell's touched it, has he, at all?
Just watching on for the time being. He'll hope it stays that way, of course, but time will tell. Obert playing it left, and a couple of boos ringing round Windsor Park now. Slovakia begin to combine the passes, and Obert, tell you what, he's done brilliantly to keep that ball from crossing the line. And Bradley's first touch is unreal. Sadly, his second touch, his pass curled out of play.
His first touch was brilliant. He's trapped it and stunned it past the player, and then tried to pass it up the line to Reid and put it in the touch. If they're going to get any joy, it's going to be down their left-hand side, and Sawyer in particular. He looks dangerous when he gets on the ball.
Conor Bradley, who has impressed in the international scene for so long, and now fighting to make himself a mainstay in the Liverpool starting 11, plenty of competition, but since Trent Alexander-Arnold's left, himself and Frimpong battling it out to be the first choice.
Yeah, I think the game's changed slightly because we know what kind of player Bradley has and how strong he is in the tackle, and in our day there'd have been no competition. He would have been straight into the game, but as I say, it's changed ever so slightly now, and sometimes I think he needs to just temper himself a little bit in the Premiership.
Slovakia trying a piercing pass from the centre, and a rather petulant push there was made.
McNair's used his experience there again. He's just felt the touch and he's just prepared to go down, because they're going to give that free kick all the time now. Right
forearm of Ivan Schrans in the back of Paddy McNair. Schrans, who had to go through a scan to make sure he was fit to play tonight, but is back available for his country after missing the first couple of matches for them. Peacock Farrell in his luminous pinky red, somewhere in between kit, kicks it long. Northern Ireland hoisting the ball forward again. Bradley looking into the centre of the box where nobody in green is.
I'd say that to me.
The next pass almost, but not quite both times.
I think as soon as Bradley turns away from the defender and leaves it back to Galbraith, he's got to put that into the box, because the centre forwards in there are making runs.
He's done it this time. He's found Ethan Galbraith. He's pulled it back, and it's an own goal that puts Northern Ireland ahead on 18 minutes.
Brilliant work by Bradley. It's a great crossing. He finds perfectly to the feet of Galbraith. Galbraith gets to the touchline, does everything right, squares the ball back, and fortunately for us, there's a white shirt and puts it into the goal, but we'll take it. And on the balance of play, they deserved it, but it's the first real threat we've had that we've got round the back of them, and I think it shows us that we can get at their back four. They are vulnerable. The keeper's not great, and Bradley's on the field day down this right hand side, so we've got to push on.
Exactly the sort of start they were hoping for. Bradley finding the run of Galbraith, and then stabbed in by Patrick Horosovsky, who's put through his own net. The midfielder can only wince as he gets himself back off the ground. But Northern Ireland in front.
Yeah, it shows you if you can get right in the back of teams, it makes it very difficult for defenders to defend when they're facing their own goal.
Northern Ireland now have scored in 10 consecutive internationals, doing so for the first time since 1961.
A long time ago.
We never take goals for granted in these parts. And even if it's an own goal, we'll happily accept them as well.
See, there's another one they've kicked straight into the stand. They are not happy, so we've got to make sure we keep this pressure on, keep this tempo up, and don't let them settle.
And I'll tell you this as well. 3 of the 4 goals that Northern Ireland have scored now in 6 meetings against Slovakia have been own goals. So own goals does really well for us in this particular fixture. But by hook or by crook,
that's a push.
On what is a must-win night, Michael O'Neill's men have forged their way in front. Still a long way to go, but positive news for anyone supporting Northern Ireland here. Slovakia decided to take a quick free kick, almost inexplicably launching it forwards and giving the ball back to Northern Ireland, and then Peacock Farrell did a little dummy, John, which I could feel you tense up.
I don't know why he didn't hit it first time, because taking the touch, puts himself under pressure, and then when he makes the clearance, he hits it straight back to Slovakia. The pass from Bradley was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He's had his thread between the two defenders, and the pace of it had been absolutely exact, so that Galbraith was able to walk, basically just stroll onto it, no problem.
Goal in the other game in this group as well. Germany leading Luxembourg by a goal to 0. Raum with the goal, and Luxembourg already down to 10 men, having had a player sent off in the 20th minute. So could well be a long night for Luxembourg. Slovakia trying to get themselves back on even terms. They're at the edge of Northern Ireland's box. They hit the shot, and the shot from Judah straight at Peacock Farrell, who holds on to it.
Yeah, it was an easy shot because McNair closed them down, Michael. Didn't let him, have a free look at goal. And he's basically didn't quite get all of it. But Sir on this left-hand side is definitely their threat. That's where all their joy is coming from.
Well, Northern Ireland unbeaten in the previous 6 games here at Windsor Park, looking to extend that and looking to capitalise on this really bright start that they have made under the lights at a packed out Windsor Park, and it looks great, doesn't it? All the home games are sold out, no surprise to hear that, but you look around and green jerseys all around us. Northern Ireland fans chanting, we're on our way.
Funny enough, since the goal, Michael, they've woke up a little bit. They're starting to play with a little bit more urgency, and whereas in the first sort of 20 minutes we were first to the ball, they've started to come into the game a little bit, which they know they're going to have to, obviously.
Well, it was a wake-up call for Slovakia. The Falcons 1-2ing it around just in front of the halfway line inside their own half, and Milan Skriniar, the hugely experienced centre half, plays it out to Obert, and it's pinged back once again to the feet.
Nice hit it again. Hit it out for a goal kick.
Big hopeful pass to nobody.
Yeah, I don't know what he's looking at there, because we are all back behind the ball. Our back 3 are there. You've got 5 across the middle, and I don't know what he's trying to hit there, but well, it just speaks to a team that's feeling the pressure, and we've just seen a little shot on our monitors of the away fans who are still trying to clap and make noise, but the expressions on faces tell you the story at the moment. They aren't happy campers. No, but it's important that the goal doesn't change us either. We've got to keep doing what we were doing, which eventually led to the goal.
Yeah, Northern Ireland have been working really hard to earn that advantage. Rozovsky putting through his own net. The ball all the way backward to Bravke again, takes a touch to set himself, and right-footed plays it up towards the halfway line. The ball's chested down, but Shea Charles thought he had it there. It's just been taken off him, and it's back once more with Schranz. They hooked the ball forwards, and it's been headed into touch by Paddy McNair over on the far side.
There's not much you could do there. There's no pace on the ball, and he's facing the forward straight in front of him. He's got to just put it out for a throw in midway through our half and just get everybody back into shape again. This is their best spell in the game, Michael. They've definitely started to pass the ball a little bit better and play forward a little bit quicker.
Skriniar, who these days is playing in Turkey for Fenerbahce, trying to be the metronome to get them ticking again. Galbraith has got the throw in halfway inside his own half, and it's going to be skipper on the night, Conor Bradley, who picks the ball up, and he's not in as much of a rush now, John, to take the throw.
No, I know, but I would still like them to get back to the pace that they've started with.
Hume, right-footed, sends it forward over the halfway line. Reid was jumping, and he's a little unlucky in the end. He's out-muscled by Skriniar. It might have struck his hand initially, but all the battling going on in Northern Ireland through Charles momentarily in possession.
Yeah,
but his pass,
bit of a pinball there. We had it, and then they had it, and then we had it, and then they got it back again.
Just tried to thread it through the legs, didn't work out in the end. 1-0 to Northern Ireland. Slovakia enjoying more of the ball since that has happened. Stepping into Northern Ireland's half now, it's Lubomir Shatka.
It's another terrible pass.
The man that scored the own goal, Horozovsky.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're not the best when they're on the ball, because football's a strange game. As soon as we got the goal, we've sort of totally changed the way we've been playing.
Yeah, Northern Ireland just need to find their way to get back through the gears again.
We've been sloppy all over the place now. Another one, Charles has tried to thread through, and again he hits a white shirt with it.
Sometimes that psychology of once you have a lead, feeling you have to protect it.
Exactly, yeah.
And on the ball here on the left-hand side of the half, Shea Charles. It's a lovely splitting pass to find Galbraith, and he nearly made it to Bradley.
Yeah, but that's the area of the pitch, Michael. You have to get the pass in. He gets that pass in, Bradley's in round the back again, and another chance of a goal, and that's the difference there. The quality there, you need to be perfect.
Ball just popped off the kneecap from a throw in of Ali McCann, and Bradley, almost incensed that he saw that, has magically woven his way through. He tried another
nutmeg. He should have went down the side of him, because I don't think he would have been Skriniar would have been able to hold him there.
Well, it's just speaking to the level of confidence that he has, and he's at the edge of Slovakia's box. Price has tried to pick out a pass. He's found the pass. Galbraith, lovely weighted ball to Reid, and he didn't get enough on.
No, he didn't.
What was a cross attempt from his right foot.
Yeah, he needed to put it into pace. He's lofted it up there trying to get Isaac Price at the back post, but just not enough pace, and it was easy for the goalkeeper.
Conor Bradley in a glimpse, reminding everybody of his supreme talent.
He is some player, and we said that from day one, Michael, when they first came on the pitch. You knew you had something good here. He's actually playing like a centre forward at the minute.
Yeah, it was his throw-in that popped off the kneecap rather embarrassingly of McCann, and Bradley, unhappy with possession being turned over, won the ball, beat a couple of men, and then was hell-bent on trying to score.
He wasn't too far away getting past the last defender either.
Slovakia being booed when they get on the ball now, but Northern Ireland fans trying to do their part to put them off. Not a lot of space there, and in the end it's a throw in to Slovakia. Paddy McNair ran out of room, didn't want to go back to his keeper. They're going to have another throw in over on that side. Northern Ireland got the bodies back though, got themselves back into shape.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to defend at some time, Lee, so you've got to make sure your concentration's there, you've got your right shape, and people are picking up, and as I say, don't give them anything.
Throw in to the visitors, 27 gone. Northern Ireland 1, Slovakia 0 in this Group A encounter.
I still think we've got to put this Skriniar again at the back as the ball. I think we've got to put him under pressure a little bit when he's got that, because he's getting all the time in the world to pick out his pass, and thankfully every time they get it, they eventually give it back to us, but you can't be relying on that the whole game.
Germany 2-0 up against Luxembourg. Kimmich with a penalty. Looks like a chastening night for Luxembourg, with the man off as well. Shea Charles won a header, but has been deemed to have had a high arm as he won the header. Free kick's gone the way of Slovakia.
Shea Charles is miles above him. He's well underneath him, and what's he supposed to do with his arm then? That's a crazy decision.
Matches Barrow didn't jump to try and win the header.
No, of course he was going to get hit by his hand, and he's standing like 3 feet below him.
Already has a heavily bandaged left hand coming into the game. Don't think he's going to require any further treatment from that one. He had a little moment to sulk. He's picked himself up.
We were just saying, when we watched them line up for the anthems, they've got quite a few tall players in there. So, from set pieces, you would think they're going to, provide a little bit of a threat.
Well, they've got a pile of players queuing up. There's about half a dozen queuing up, but all of them are standing offside at the moment. The delivery comes in and beats every player, and arrives at Peacock Farrell, who pulls it out quickly to the left to Price, who tries to switch it from one side of the pitch to the other for Galbraith, and Galbraith has stolen it from Duda. What was Duda doing? The challenge in the centre. Well, there were, in fairness, 5 Slovakian players back, but they've given it away once more. Will there be a shot here? There will. Dubravka makes the save to deny Deveni. And just when I was about to praise them for getting numbers back, they gave the ball away again in Northern Ireland. So close to making it 2.
I mean, the ball that Price put out here it really was a defender's ball, and he makes a total mess of it. Galbraith, I think, let the ball go a little bit too early, put it behind a read, and he couldn't get onto it. And then, as you say, they've given it away again. Deveni's come onto it. He's absolutely thundered it in at the front post, and the keeper's had to make a good save.
Northern Ireland chasing their second goal in this match as we tick towards the half-hour mark at Windsor Park. Deveni, who had the attempt on corner duty, he's gone low with that. Answers on a postcard. The clearance has arrived at Charles. Southampton man finds Price, who gets it to Deveni. He's dinking it, looking to the far post, and Dubravka punches out for a throw-in.
Yeah, the goalkeeper's done well there, but again, it's inviting him to come out and punch it clear. It should have been put in. Deveni should have put that in with pace. Just, it was one of those ones that was floating there. It was in the air a long time, and it allowed the keeper, to take his moment to come and pick it out.
Well, after a bit of a lull after scoring, Northern Ireland starting to go through the gears again in the right direction. Bradley creeps forward, getting another throw in.
Yeah, again, it's got the crowd back in it a little bit again, because it's gone very, very quiet there for a while, because Slovakia did have that period of 10 minutes where they were certainly on top in terms of possession.
Cute from Bradley there, just drawing the challenge from Sawyer. Another throw in forthcoming, a couple of yards away from the corner flag, across to our right hand side. Bradley gives it to McCann, and he's been pulled back by possibly his ear there. It was really blatant by Aubert, and I am surprised, or by Sawyer rather, that the referee isn't going to look into booking him there.
Yeah, it should have been in the day's game it should have been a booking. To be honest, it's not that much of contact. He's caught him high up on the shoulder, and then I think his arm might have just gone up onto, around his face. But again, Bradley's tougher than that, I think. And to be fair to him, he's just got up now.
Well,
but you're right,
picture
Michael.
book definition of a professional foul.
Absolutely, yeah. You should have. You would have thought another referee would have given him a yellow card, but he seems to be quite lenient. So I don't have a problem with that, to be quite honest.
Referee tonight from Sweden. He's just casting an eyebrow. Bit of movement in the centre of the box. There's not much pushing and shoving going on in there, in truth. Free kick to come in now from Deveni, left-footed, straight at Dubravka. Again, he doesn't hold it. Oof, and that will be a sore one. The pelted clearance cannons off from no range the face of Charles. He somehow stays on his feet. Might be a handy boxer as well. Most people will go down there.
The free kick coming again, but again, it's far too near the goalkeeper.
It hasn't been a comfortable night for Martin Dubravka thus far, for a man of such experience.
Having said that, from maybe a shaky start, he started to come into the game, and he's dealing with the balls that are, in close to him. And we're just watching the save again from Deveni, because Deveni really struck that well at the keeper's right hand post, and he did well to parry it away.
Northern Ireland with the throw in on the halfway line. Conor Bradley with it once more. 10 years this week since that famous win over Greece secured Northern Ireland's spot in the Euros. This team hoping to move themselves closer to qualification for a major tournament, and by the time it rolls round, a 4-decade wait for World Cups, John.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, when you were playing in them, were you thinking, do you know what, the next bunch will have a while to wait?
Well, it's hard to know. I mean, like 58, and then it was 58 and then 82, so you were always looking around that that 24 year mark. But that's just the nature of Northern Ireland. We don't have that many players, so it's always going to be cyclical.
Free kick decision given to Slovakia. Deveni pleading his innocence, but the referee unmoved as the ball goes back to the visiting goalkeeper in his bright yellow attire, well out of his penalty area, moving the pass to Shatka, and they tried a little almost arrogant flick inside, which didn't work out, but Northern Ireland sloppily presenting possession back to Slovakia.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Price was trying to do there at all.
Well, just a little over 10 minutes until the end of this first half, and one goal is always a very fine margin, isn't it? Nothing achieved yet.
Yeah, that's the problem. One goal is a very fine margin. No matter how much you are on top, they're always going to have a period in the play where they're going to get a chance, and we've got to make sure we don't gift them anything. There, Bradley again, brilliant.
Well, he works so hard to get on the ball, and he's so direct now as he runs through. His pass was cut out. They've got it to Charles. He wanted it on his left side. It's broken for Reid, and Reid should have scored. Make no mistake about it, it's a terrible miss from Reid, who off balance puts it off target from all of 8 yards.
Yeah, and Bradley makes that run, and he tries to square the ball to Shea Charles. It comes off the defender and goes to Charles. He totally mishits it, and it falls to Reid, and he basically should buries that. He's just outside the 6-yard box, and he's stretching for it and doesn't get on it at all. That was the chance.
He sunk his face into the turf after that one, which to me said everything.
Yeah, when the ball broke to Shea Charles, he just couldn't get it out from underneath his feet. And as he's trying to get a bit of space for the shot, the defenders knocked it on to Charles on to Reid, and basically he should have scored there.
It's one of those moments, once you see that happen, you're just expecting a goal. You're not even thinking about it. And Jamie Reid, who has had a pretty good start to life in League One with Stevenage as well, would have expected himself to score, but not to be there.
Yeah, it's good play by McNair. It's one of those balls down the wing with he's hoping that it's going to go over the touchline, but it's just not getting there. But he used the strength to hold off the Slovakian, and it's gone out for a goal kick.
He has been a little bit in and out of the team recently with San Diego.
Yeah.
They beat Houston Dynamo 5 days ago, but he came on in the 90th minute in that game.
Well, I think that McNair's that experience now. To be actually playing or not, I'm not sure that it'll affect him too badly.
78 caps tonight for Northern Ireland.
If we're going here now, 1-0 at half time, it's a great first half, but it annoys you because we've been so much on top, and you think, if we can get a second goal, we could put this to bed.
It's a compliment in many ways of what Michael O'Neill has been able to achieve, isn't it? That we're asking more from the players now because we're seeing more from them in general. We know there's more to give.
Well, as I said, I think at the start of the game, Michael, there's a lot of players on here now with a lot of experience. I mean, again, he's fair play to the referee. That should be a booking. I've seen them getting booked for less, but he's trying to let it go, and I think I think they're having a word with the referee on the touchline there about the possibility of
it was Dermot O'Carroll. Yeah,
was it Dermot O'Carroll?
Yeah. He was just asking the question. Recently ticked over 200 games as an assistant manager. Dermot O'Carroll, working for Sparta Prague as well as Northern Ireland, and he was just asking the referee, how many times can you pull a man's shirt before you decide to book the player?
Yeah.
And the referee said, well, at least once more, I'm guessing. Shea Charles with the long free kick into the centre. It's hit a couple of Slovakian players. It's pinged around, and an offside flag has gone up there.
These offsides are puzzling me. I'm not sure who was offside there.
Yeah, well, I thought the first and second touch was of a Slovakian player, so I'm not so sure about that myself. But anyway, free kick has been awarded.
And it's certainly not there. It's certainly not there.
Just the 10 yards further back into your box. Skriniar played it to Dubravka, got it back again, and strolls forward with the ball at his right boot at a snail's pace.
It is a snail's pace, which will suit us in the time when they're on the ball. But when we're on the ball, we've got to get it. Well done by Ballard there. At one stage, I thought he had lost that, but he did well to recover. We need to inject a little pace into the game when we're on the ball.
Well, they're just having a little look to see what's going on there, because Slovakia do have players in high positions. Northern Ireland get the throw in.
That's brilliant by Trahan, because he's played that off him, and he meant it. It wasn't just a question of trying to boot that up the park. He hit it off him to eventually make sure that we got the throw in halfway up the park in our half.
He is such a competitor. Just ask Morgan Rogers and a few others, in fairness, in his in his very impressive career to date. Trey Hume. Just watching Jamie Reid hobble about there. I think he's all right, just momentarily getting the feeling back in his right leg. Northern Ireland with the 1-goal advantage. 39 minutes on the clock to our right-hand side on the big screen in the stadium. An own goal from Patrick Horozovsky, who plays his football in Belgium with Genk. Not the finest way to mark his 60th cap for his country, but he steadied himself in Slovakia, trying to do that as well as they move the ball across their midfield and back to their defence.
Yeah, they run out of ideas very quickly. And as I say, you know, if we can hold them like that and make sure we don't make any mistakes, give them nothing.
Well, they're trying to...
Again, you know, the final ball is poor when they get anywhere near the 18-yard box.
And in the transition, when Northern Ireland come forward, it looks like there's opportunities if they can find the right passes, which they haven't always done, in fairness, either. But it just opens up, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's times we just need to lead, you know, to make the pass a little bit quicker. But certainly everything that, you know, that's good for us is coming down this right-hand side, particularly with Bradley and also with Galbraith. Oh, it's brilliant.
Oh my goodness, swap play again from Conor Bradley. He has such command of the ball that he does little strokes with his foot that completely befuddle defenders.
Yeah. On the ball, you know, he's very, very good.
And I'm enjoying watching him and Galbraith form a stronger understanding of one another, because both of them are tidy players.
Yeah, Galbraith's good on the ball. There's just once or twice you would have wanted him maybe just to play it a little bit quicker, maybe play it first time. But we're certainly, as a partnership down there, it's been pretty good this whole first half.
10th cap tonight for Ethan Galbraith, arguably being Swansea City's best player this season as well.
I think, you know, we expected Galbraith to do this a lot sooner, but thankfully, you know, maybe it just took a little bit longer for him to, you know, to establish himself. But I always thought he was a decent player.
Bradley with the flick. Shade Charles jumped, couldn't get contact on the ball. He felt a little nudge in the small of his back, but no free kick. And well, now there is one. It's gone against Shade Charles, who's
I don't know
very
what that's
unhappy.
for either.
No.
Oh, he's given against Galbraith
Galbraith.
actually for a pull, yeah, because I know Charles hadn't made a foul, but it was just slightly before that.
Yeah, replay on the monitor showing that Galbraith had a hold of his man. So that cleared up. 3 minutes until we played the 45. An own goal in Northern Ireland's favour between the teams so far in this Group A match, and with things standing the way they are between this game and the other match in this group, it would mean 3 teams on 6 points.
How many times have they done that tonight, Michael? You know, no pressure on the ball and you just pass it straight into touch.
Germany approaching half-time, 2-0 up.
No, you've got to ask yourself, and I don't want to sort of tempt fate, but how did they beat Germany? I mean, Germany were poor against us. They must have been awful against them.
Well, one of the men that scored was the defender, Hanko, who offers so much down the left-hand side, and you've taken him out of the team, and Lobotka as well in the heart of their midfield from Napoli. I know Conte's far from happy. He's facing about a month out. Some big games coming up for the team. Northern Ireland fans not complaining when they saw such influential players not lining up against them here. Ollie McCann's had a bit of a quizzical touch there, which is spun towards Sawyer. He hasn't been able to control it, and he's been shouldered off the ball by a stronger Conor Bradley.
You know, you always think today, Michael, you know, when you watch the game, and I know there's a lot of emphasis put on possession, and to me sometimes it bores me to death, and you think back, well, you know, what players would you pay to go and watch? And Bradley falls into that category.
Yeah, another really good first half from Conor Bradley.
Yeah, and that's a nice ball up the you know, just from the outside of his foot, knocking it up the channel, and Reid's got to read them and get on to them.
And but for a bit more luck, could be 2-0 to Northern Ireland. Reid missing that big chance a few minutes ago. Home side enjoying the possession as they move it back to Ballard. In tonight over Owen Toll. Ballard, that's a really good pass.
Well,
and he's found Bradley, brought it down in his chest and spun to his right with the ball. Now to Galbraith, stepping in off the wing, and he's reversed a chip ball forwards, and Reid didn't read it.
No, but that's the point I'm making. The ball's to Bradley. The ball owns to Bradley. To be fair to Reid, it's very difficult to get on the end of that. You know, he's got to find Bradley again, set him off down the touchline.
Well, they've
just given it away again. Oh, Shea Charles slips, unfortunately.
Shea Charles ran so hard to get the ball that by the time he got there, he lost his footing. The surface has cut up quite a bit.
Well, I can't understand it, Michael. Before the game, they were watering the pitch.
Yeah, you can see the impressions of where challenges have been made. Fourth official signalling 1 minute of additional time here at Windsor Park. Adam Lederbach, the fourth official with the board up.
Oh, you got to do better than that. You got to better. Well done.
Trying to step into the box, and the pass.
Bryce defending was poor there. You know, he goes to let on to cross the ball, and he cuts back inside, and well played again.
Justin
Good
Devaney.
play by Devaney.
Challenging and running around. Michael O'Neill, with just him on our monitor, doesn't look too pleased at the moment. Probably just a little bit of sloppiness over there.
Well, as I say, I couldn't be too happy about Price's defending. It's too easy for them, you know. That's a poor throw again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a foul, surely.
Looked like a high foot. Referee didn't give it. Push in the back of McCann. He hasn't noticed that.
He's let everything go there.
Yeah. Well, there's a few people on that pitch here thinking, hold on, what else can I get away with? Hopefully it doesn't come to that. There is the sound of the half-time whistle, and Northern Ireland have a 0-0 lead that they were looking for, John O'Neill. They wanted a bright start, they got one, and it came from a good bit of play down the right-hand side where a lot of the good play has come from.
Yeah, they've dominated the game right from the start. You know, the maybe a 5 or 10 minute period after we got the goal where the pace dropped a little bit, but outside of that, you know, there's only one team playing here. They look poor. Really, we should have had a second goal against Reid, and had we got that 2-goal, I'd have been a much happier person, because at 1-0, you know, a mistake, a slip at the back can, you know, ruin all your good work. But he'll be absolutely delighted at the fact that Northern Ireland have dominated the game. My only worry is that you've got to think that they're going to have a response here, because they've been poor, they've offered nothing. Peacock Farrell had one sort of half shot, which he, you know, picked up comfortably, and outside of that, it's been Northern Ireland, you know, for the whole game. So we're in a good, strong position, but we've got to make sure we close this game out.
Yes, what they would give for a second goal, but at half-time, Horozovsky's own goal on 18 minutes is what separates the teams in Belfast. It is Northern Ireland 1, Slovakia 0.
Yes, a good first half for Michael O'Neill and his players. We'll get the thoughts of former internationals George McCartney and Jim Magilton in a moment or two. But first, for all of you who've been waiting patiently, here's the latest BBC News.
BBC News NI on Radio Ulster and on BBC Sounds.
And with the latest news, I'm Bob Huggins. A 21-year-old man has died after a two-vehicle crash in Cookstown. Police received a report of a collision on the Pomeroy Road earlier this morning. The man was pronounced dead at the scene, and a woman was taken to hospital for her injuries. The road, which was closed for a forensic examination, has now reopened. Palestinians returning to their homes in Gaza following the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas say some of their neighbourhoods have been flattened. The Israeli military says it has partially withdrawn troops from parts of Gaza. The UN's humanitarian office said more aid had started getting into the territory, but not yet at the scale that is needed. The BBC's international editor, Jeremy Bowen, says the next phases of the ceasefire are still being negotiated.
There always is in wars, in ceasefires, violations, difficulties and crises. And the only way really in the medium term to try to stop those things collapsing the whole process is to have some firm underpinnings of agreements, of diplomacy, of precision, of granularity. And up to this point, they don't have any of that.
There's been a huge blast at a military explosives facility in the US state of Tennessee. Reports say that several people have died and others are missing following the explosion at the Accurate Energetic Systems factory. A man living with borderline personality disorder says he feels completely abandoned after hearing that a 10-year mental health strategy is being scaled back. It comes after a review found of the 35 actions, 15 have not begun and haven't received funding since the strategy was published in 2021. The Department of Health is now stripping back the plan. Stephen Heron says mental health services are one of the first things to go.
I feel completely abandoned and let down. It's one of the first things to go. Like, everybody says it's good to talk, but nobody wants to listen to you. We're also in a post-conflict society, so there's been a lot of ripples from the Troubles, and it's making it hard for people to move on because the therapies and things is what would be needed to draw a line under things.
Thousands of people lined the streets of Manchester to pay their respects to the boxing great Ricky Hatton as a procession made a 10-mile journey to the city's cathedral for his funeral service. The former world welterweight champion died last month at the age of 46. The boxing commentator Adam Smith was his friend and spoke during the service.
I will forever love him, his fights, his friendship, his fun, his adoration of life. We all will. What a ride it was. There is and only ever will be one Ricky Hatton.
And finally with the weather, here's Cecilia.
Mostly dry and cloudy this evening with very light winds. A few cloud breaks are expected to develop through the night, and it'll be a little cooler than recent nights with lows of 6 to 8 degrees, but chillier where there are prolonged cloud breaks with some fog patches. Tomorrow may start grey and misty in places, but should brighten up with a few brighter sunny spells. Overall, it'll be fairly dry and quite cloudy. Highs of 14 or 15 Celsius.
BBC News.
From BBC Northern Ireland on iPlayer. It's now easier than ever to get cosmetic surgery, especially if you travel abroad.
What I wanted was a reduction, a lift and an implant. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat.
But it's not always a dream getaway.
Something that was meant to enhance a person can scar them permanently.
I was going to Turkey thinking I was going to come out better. It's just very hard to accept.
Stitched Up, Surgery in the Sun. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
This is Sports Sound International Football. Listen live on digital, online or on BBC Sounds.
So Northern Ireland leading by 1-0 at half-time. A warm welcome to those of you who are joining us listening on 5 Live Sports Extra. Nice to have you with us. The only goal of the game, an own goal coming in the 17th minute. Own goals have been a pattern of meetings between Northern Ireland and Slovakia. I think it's fair to say, Jim, if the defender hadn't put that one into the net, Isaac Price would be on 11 goals for Northern Ireland. However, before we get to that, what have you made of the first 45 minutes overall?
I think they've been awful. I really do. I think you can understand why they have lost 4 to 5. I think they started off poorly and haven't recovered. I think Northern Ireland started on the front foot. I think the goal was the best piece of play in the game. I think it was real quality. I like the combination and the relationship. Started off poorly and haven't recovered. I think they'll up and
Sorry, we seem to be having a little bit of a technical issue listening to Jim there. And John, you didn't turn him off, did you?
Oh, I tell you, it's better off not listening to him.
John,
I'm only joking.
We were just listening moments before that to what was being said on the pitch. Lewis Crocker made an appearance. He's been inspiring Northern Ireland fans, obviously, in a boxing ring here recently, winning the world title, and he's here now to cheer on the lads.
Well, I tell you, the more world champions you can get out in the pitch, the better. I wouldn't be a big boxing fan, but I know he set the place alight recently. So maybe he's bringing a little bit of good omen for us, but I would like to see us go out in the second half, push for that second goal, and then I think if we do that, we can see this game out comfortably. I'm wondering, we were talking about the fact that they had two, maybe their starters.
I think it's getting to the stage now where I need to bring a set of screwdrivers to a game or do some sort of engineering degree to actually get through a game without these problems happening. So apologies if you're listening.
That was the best bit of soccer punditry that everyone missed ever.
You were brilliant, Jim.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you were saying you didn't feel that Northern Ireland actually had to do an awful lot in the game to be 1-0 up.
No, because they've offered so little, and Northern Ireland, I think, just in transition as well, they've turned the ball over too quickly at times, and they can take more care with the ball and have more possession in the game and draw Slovakia out.
Yeah. But I would say you have to give Northern Ireland credit for the higher pressing. Slovakia high up the pitch. Galbraith's released it. It's nearly like a 5-3-2. No, Galbraith and Reid are pressing the two centre halves. It's nearly like a flat midfield three behind them with Price, McCann and Charles, and there's no spaces or gaps for Slovakia to be able to play through, so they're having to play it out to the fullbacks or their wide players, and let's be honest, they haven't really got much strength in the wide areas. There's no pace there. I think Sawyer, who was
he's the only one,
threat early on, first 15 minutes or so, had one or two half moments, but then Bradley got the grips with him. Now you look at Sawyer's body language, Bradley's running off him all the time, doubling up with Galbraith, and like you said, Jim, that final pass, whether it's a turnover or Northern Ireland's breaking, you pick the right pass there, a little bit more quality, you're maybe getting your second or third goal there.
This might be overly simplistic, but I look at this and I think to myself that Conor Bradley is on a different planet than any other player on the pitch, and it's almost after 10 or 15 minutes the Slovakians are almost, every time Bradley gets the ball it's almost, oh no, here he comes again.
He's a catalyst, he's the energy, he's the trigger, he's the one that sets the tone. And George is absolutely right. Once Sarr realised he's in for a very tough night, because Trey Hume's behind him as well, so it frees off Conor. Connor's then has this unbelievable energy to get back up and down the pitch, but it's his relationship, it's starting to blossom with Galbraith. He and Galbraith, because Galbraith is such a technically really good footballer, he rebounds, they both bounce off each other, so I'm interested to see how that develops.
I'm actually feeling a little bit sorry now for Obert, the left back. In the changing room I'll be saying to the lad in front of me, Sawyer, listen, get the finger out, these are doubling up, you need to start coming back to give me a little bit of help, but
I've heard you say that quite different, but yeah, I like that.
In the changing room I'll be
running at him, and he just doesn't have an answer.
No, listen, Bradley, he plays for a top club. You can see his pedigree. He's full of energy, desire, his mentality.
He does things at a different pace.
Yes, it's his game understanding. I suppose that's playing exactly with the type of players he's with every day of the week.
And one of the challenges, because it's been so predominant down one side of the pitch, Devaney and Price have probably been robbed of that, and that's largely because Paddy McNair, right-footed, playing left side, so it's not natural for him to open up and go down the left-hand side, so everything's inside the pitch. So, but in saying that, if you've got someone as dominant as Conor, and keep giving them the ball, and that's where they've got their just rewards.
Jimmy Reid's miss is a shocker, isn't it?
Well, that all came again from Bradley. I think he robbed Sawyer again on the halfway line, drove forward with it. Maybe he was caught in two minds if he was going to take the last defender on. It sort of way ricocheted. It's a great opportunity for me as a striker.
It's a bad miss. He's off balance. It's actually, at this level of the game, it's a sitter.
I actually think I might have scored it. And that's saying something. Maybe not.
If you actually go on YouTube, your overhead kick against Bolton is probably still there. Yeah,
that was with my wrong foot as well. I actually think I might have been right footed instead of left footed.
That was with your wrong shin, not your wrong foot.
Yeah, it was a sweet strike. So
okay. And there was another one as well. Again, the point you're making, George, about robbing the Slovakians high up the pitch, and Galbraith won it back, and then Jimmy Reid on his heels as well a little bit when the ball was played in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. That was another half a chance.
Yeah, it was half chance, and again we're talking about the final ball at times, the quality. Maybe Reid's run. I don't know if he could have maybe just had a little bit more of a diagonal run where Galbraith just slides it into his path, and I'm not too sure, but again, just tidy up in the final third, that last pass, and we won't get the next goal.
What they've done really well as well, Michael set the traps. So the trigger is if George is absolutely spot on. The moment the ball goes to either fullback or the wide player, they're springing and then they're aggressive. And when they win it back, especially down this right hand side with Bradley, then it gives them the opportunity to break forward.
The other game in Group A tonight, Germany 2, Luxembourg 0. Group B, it sounds thrilling stuff. Kosovo 0, Slovenia 0, Sweden 0, Switzerland 0. So pick your game there. In Group D, France 1, Azerbaijan 0. France, one of those teams that we're on playoff qualification via the Nations League. And in Group J, Kazakhstan beat Liechtenstein 4-0 earlier today, and it's currently Belgium 0, North Macedonia 0. We're currently rooting for North Macedonia in that one. I mean, I need to ask about Dubravka. I mean, has he actually tried to catch the ball at all? I mean, I know sort of maybe punching the ball clear is all the rage, but ropey would be a word that springs to mind when I watch him.
I think it's a foreign keeper thing. You know, any of the keepers I play, any of the foreign keepers, they didn't particularly want to catch it.
But we're talking about opportunities when it's comfortable to catch the ball.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's maybe something Michael picks up on there in the half-time team talk. Now, I know John was saying about the balls are too close to the keeper at times, but he looks that dodgy. Get the balls in on top of, and maybe somebody running across the front of and puts him off. You never know, he might drop one in front of you.
And bear in mind, he's 9'3".
Yes. The other thing I was going to say was I quite like the fact the referee has let a lot go, because we have 4 of our 5 across the middle of the pitch here on a yellow card. So hopefully that continues, and we don't see cards. That would maybe work in our favour. The fact that he's speaking here to Shea Charles, I don't get involved in that, because I think, is he one of the ones that's on a yellow?
But I do like that approach.
Oh no, he's not. He's the one that isn't.
He's actually very calm. He is speaking to players.
Yeah. Bradley, Galbraith, Devaney, McCann and Saville, if he comes on, are the ones that we need to avoid yellow cards. Right, looks like we're good to go in the second half. Here's John O'Neill and Michael Clark.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and perfect timing. We have just kicked off. Northern Ireland 1, Slovakia 0, and the hosts playing from right to left in this second half. No changes from either side that I can detect as Northern Ireland try and move once again down their right hand side. Bradley able to hold off a challenge, was asking for a free kick there, hasn't been given, but they've got the ball back. It's Galbraith, not the best of balls into the centre. Shea Charles trying first time volley on the clearance, which reached him 25 yards out. Bradley has the ball now, able to spin on the right edge of the box, moving it inside. He thought about a shot on his left foot. He wants it on his right foot. It's over the crossbar. Lively start to the second half.
Yeah, it's a Conor Bradley show on that right hand side. There's players around him screaming. Shea Charles on the edge of the box, but he twisted and turned. He went to hit it on his left foot, came back onto his right. It was a good strike, but it was just rising all the time and over the bar. A good start for Northern Ireland again in the second half, and we're trying to pin them back in their 18-yard box here.
The very tempting thing about the second half, John, as you can see, is I was given a chocolate donut right before we came back, so I'll stare at that lovingly for 45 minutes and hope it'll be a celebratory donut by the time it's consumed. I might even share it. I'll be in such good form depending on things. But Northern Ireland putting the squeeze on once more as Slovakia move it back to their keeper. So a reminder of the Northern Ireland team: Peacock, Farrell and goals again tonight. Hugh McNair and Ballard the back line. Ballard back into the team, returning for Toll, who's on the bench. Devaney, McCann, Charles, Galbraith and Bradley in midfield, and up front Price and Reid. Dubravka taking his time before he played the pass out of the box. Slovakia trying to be more patient, trying to draw Northern Ireland onto them a little bit more to find space. Maybe
trying something slightly different.
They
but
can't do,
they gave the ball away. It looked very promising for Northern Ireland, but there's been a foul off the ball by Jamie Reid.
They've given the ball away, and Reid, for I don't know what reason, he's pulled the centre half down, and the referee was bound to give them a free kick, and we just intercepted the ball, and we're on the counter attack again.
Slovakia starting 11: Dubravka in net, Jomber, Shatka, Skriniar and Obert. The defence, Barrow, Horozovsky, whose own goal is the difference in this game so far, and Duda in midfield. Schranz, Strelic and Sawyer are the attackers.
Galbraith play.
Yeah, lovely
just
little
give it away though.
Bit of play from him initially, but possession ceded. Couldn't find Bradley. It's been kicked by a Slovakian player off the backside of Bradley, and Shay Charles had his ankle wrapped there. Referee spots it.
He did well. He tried to let the advantage go, but as soon as it went to the Slovakians, he's called it up. They have started like they started in the first half, Michael. They look poor, and we've had so much of the ball that you do not want to see us give them anything, So as a back three, you've got a lot of experienced men, at the back. They've got to make sure that the guys in front of them don't get sloppy and be on their backs all the time, and then force them to play well.
Yeah, they have a miserable away record of 4 defeats in their last 5, which speaks to some of what we're seeing here tonight. They just don't look comfortable whatsoever. They've struggled, but still just the one goal in it.
Yeah, Sarah feels a little bit done by it. He thinks McCann took him down off the ball and actually off the pitch, but the referee again's let it go.
Yeah, one of the less experienced players, Leo Sarr, 19-year-olds. Galbraith heading the ball in front of him, was facing towards the corner flags. Check back in, nearly able to roll a ball through for Reid, but not quite. And Slovakia hack it clear. Hume's been barreled into. Shay Charles skipped through. I thought you're right, they've not given the offside. They've given a corner to Northern Ireland.
But again, Reid's got to be more alert there. It wasn't the best of balls. It was a half chance, but if he gets a shot away, get a shot on goal.
Northern Ireland fans, especially those across to our left, making plenty of noise with the corner in front of them. Charles dribbling the ball into the little D over there at the corner flag. Looking into a penalty box that has plenty of suitors moving around. Ballard with an eye on this one. Hume's in there too, as is McNair. Delivery from Charles. It was almost Ballard, and there's been a foul off the ball, and Slovakia have a free kick.
Again, I think it's just the centre half and Ballard just competing for the ball. He gets his head to it.
Yeah, they're just in front of that though. Hume is tangled with Skriniar. So
you think that was what the free kick was for?
He landed on his back, but it certainly looked more of a foul, John, than the other one, which is just two centre backs.
I didn't see that. That was just two guys challenging for the ball.
One way or another, Slovakia have a moment's reprieve anyway from what has been a really industrious Northern Ireland team tonight, once again working ever so hard to make it an uncomfortable night in Belfast, and a big ball forward has Slovakia making all sorts of mistakes at the back, and when it dropped for Bradley, who ran half the pitch to get there, he didn't have much steam left and he sliced the volley.
Yeah, it was a comedy of errors. It was good play by Peacock Farrell. It was a long ball, and him and McNair sort of had to sort it out between themselves. Peacock Farrell, took initiative and cleared it, and then after that it was pandemonium outside their yard box.
Yeah, straightforward long ball up the pitch. Well, Northern Ireland fans on the far side are almost like a mini VAR, because they are really not impressed with the free kick that was given just inside Northern Ireland's half in front of them.
I tell you, there's free kicks happening here and I just don't see them. What he's giving a free kick for there is nothing.
Yeah, Duda almost simulating a dead leg when there was minimal contact made on him. He went down in installments, and the referee sided with him on that occasion. They've gone backwards with their free kick though, which might just perplex and frustrate the away manager, whose team haven't done much to inspire him so far. Francesco Calzona standing with arms crossed at the edge of his technical area.
How many times has the centre half tried to force that ball across the park and give it away?
McNair has put a lot on that pass back to Peacock Farrell, who could do little else other than kick it into touch, and he's out of his goal now, and they've taken the throw in with him out of position. He's back in his net, the cross comes in, the header comes in, and he's made a save, and that would have been absolutely preventable. Scandalous defending for Northern Ireland, and Barrow was very close to scoring.
It's not even defending, it's just a ball passed back by Paddy McNair. There's far too much pace on it. Peacock Farrell couldn't do much with it, and but
it was very close to scoring.
So it looks like 3 more points from the Germans before they make the trip to Belfast on Monday. A game you can of course watch live across the BBC.
That's just pressure. That's just pressure. Aubert is better than what he's shown there, and he just needlessly kicks the ball out of play. That's just the pressure that Northern Ireland have put on Slovakia tonight, and they haven't been able to cope.
McCann. Bradley cuts it back, took a ricochet off the defender and ended up in the hands of Dubravka with 2 Northern Ireland players well positioned.
He couldn't really do anything else, Conor Bradley. Jamie Reid wasn't in a position to receive the ball. He wasn't anticipating that Conor Bradley was going to get in there. The pass from Shea Charles was absolutely sublime. And that's when the box end has to be filled with Isaac Price, has to be filled with Jamie Reid to try and get across defenders.
Germany are now 4 up at home to Luxembourg. Shea Charles does brilliantly again. Galbraith might fancy this one. Blocked by Skriniar. One back by Galbraith, who's been absolutely everywhere. Peterborough handball again as the free kick is brought back after Devaney didn't receive any advantage.
Just some of the one-touch play from Northern Ireland has been brilliant. There you are, give and go. Defenders, midfield players, they hate running towards their own goal. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do the hard yards. They want the game in front of them all the time. And Northern Ireland continually tonight have disrupted the defensive shape and the midfield shape of Slovakia because they've just took off. And it's been really hard to pin down.
The victory over Denmark was the real catalyst for this young group. Had a successful Nations League campaign afterwards. Topped the group in preparation for this World Cup qualifying campaign. Devaney loops over everyone's head and out for a throw-in.
And we did question at half-time, we heard the boys saying, could they replicate it? Where would they find the energy and the strength and the power from? Well, they managed to do it in the opening 10 minutes. Clearly they enjoyed what they'd done in the first half, but Michael would have been clear. That's gone, that's done. We can't affect that anymore. We can only affect what's coming, and they've done it so far.
Jember plays it forward, but Slovakia haven't been able to make it stick up top so far. Still a long way to go in this game though. Charles and McCann have certainly been on top in that midfield battle also. Tactically so far Northern Ireland have got it right. Bradley leaves the Slovakian midfielder on his back. Has worked across the other side, Devaney. Reid makes a run. Devaney instead looking for Price though. And here is Price, picked up by McCann. Charge, spotted a gap, tried to charge through, referee says no penalty straight away.
Well, I apologise once again because that technical error took you away from us, but you were in good company with our TV colleagues, Thomas Kane and Stephen Cragen, Michael Clark and John O'Neill here in Belfast as Northern Ireland look into the centre and score.
Yeah, I think this is offside. If if he doesn't touch this, I think this is going in.
Well, there's going to be a VAR review.
He's put the flag up now, yeah.
And I think you're right. I think this won't stand. The shot was taken by Charles, and then Jamie Reid decides to put a touch on it, and if he makes contact, which it looks like he has done without seeing the replay yet, then it's going to be chalked off. I'm not holding out much hope with this standing, John.
I've just watched the replay. He's miles offside. You know, it looked as if he didn't touch it, you're not sure if the goalkeeper was going to get it.
Yeah, confirmation that goal has not stood offside.
But just before that, Charles made a brilliant run into the box, and he was sandwiched between two players, and I would like to see that again. The referee was right on the spot and waved it away, but it was close.
Well, what a couple of moments, because a big penalty decision doesn't go Northern Ireland's way, and then you just wonder if Reid doesn't touch the ball, would it have crept in?
Possibly not. Maybe the pace would have been enough for the goalkeeper to get across and cover it.
Well, we're coming up to 58 minutes in Belfast. Northern Ireland 1, Slovakia 0, and even just having the ball in the other team's net, maybe that'll give Northern Ireland an extra wee shot in the arm to go and chase that second. To be fair, they've had a very good start to this half. Paddy McNair's taking a tumble there, no foul, however. The ball with the visitors. Maybe it'll also force them to wake up, because it's been a frankly far from good performance from Slovakia. It's below subpar, but they've got the ball now with Barrow, who'd a shot earlier in this half, a header saved by Peacock Farrell. His cross is headed behind by Ballard. Slovakia have a corner.
I don't know what the referee's talking to Bradley here at the minute. I have no idea what's going on here. I think it is still a corner, but again, we're giving them little half chances here. Ballard needs to get a good header in there to get it away.
Well, the Northern Ireland fans trying to play their part to psych out their counterparts. Slovakia.
This is where we got to defend, because they are, as we said before, they've got good height in their attack.
They're signalling something. Arms crossed by the corner kick taker Duda after receiving that instruction from his captain. It's an out-swinging right-footed corner. It's a really poor one, and Bradley belts it away.
Yeah, he's done well there, Bradley. That's a foul throw.
That's absolutely a foul throw.
The whole stadium knows that.
Hasn't been given as a foul throw somehow. Duda steps inside, plays the pass through, and it's too much on it for Berra, and Ballard is absolutely berating the
that's
assistant.
Stupid. That is
he's been yellow carded.
Stupid. I do not understand what Ballard's talking about. He's going over and berating the fourth official over a foul throw.
Well, yellow card now for him. It doesn't impact him. He wasn't previously on one.
But it's stupid to be getting a yellow card for that. Everybody's laughing at the fact that they didn't give a foul throw. The thing had gone. It's gone out for a goal kick, and he's run like 10 or 15 yards to confront him. He knows he's going to get a yellow card.
Half an hour to go. Those forwards will be looking at that and wondering if they can get a man advantage as they try and find a way back into the game. Peacock Farrell's goal kick flicked on, and Galbraith has been tripped. He's in a heap on the ground.
Now that is a free kick.
And the assistant official has given a throw in, and the referee, I don't think the referee's given a free kick, has he? Is he just asking for everyone to make sure he's okay before he allows the throw in?
I have never seen that before. The fourth official has stopped them taking a throw in because we had a player off the park.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the referee's having a very strange few minutes. We'll say that. Galbraith had his foot stood on there as he ended up in a heap on the ground. Slovakia have the ball again. Barrow moving it right-footed to Jon Bear inside. There is space here. There's numbers arriving in as well, and their shot's taking a deflection, but it hasn't gone out. Well, oh my goodness, they've said that it's gone out, and they've given a corner.
How can he tell if that's gone out from where he is?
Well, we're going to watch a replay of it on our monitors, John, but I can't for a second.
There's absolutely no way he can. There's no way he can give that from there.
I've seen some strange refereeing decisions, but this gentleman's racked up a few in short time.
Yeah, we got to put this behind us and concentrate on the job at hand now and get this clear.
Corner comes in. Peacock Farrell was underneath it, but got a glove on it.
Not a great punch, but it got out of the danger. I think it's come off the side of his fist.
Slovakia starting to...
This is their best period in the game, and I think it's, we've got ourselves all annoyed about decisions not going our way, and to be fair, they haven't, but you can't do that. You've got to make sure you keep concentrating and do your job at hand.
Well, Shea Charles with a absolutely fair and fine shoulder charge that sends Schranz over the touchline.
He's having a word with Shea Charles. Why is he having a word with Shea Charles if he hasn't given a free kick? I do not understand what this referee's about.
No.
He's having a lengthy discussion with Shea Charles here. I'd love to know what he's saying to him.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher. It's either a foul or it isn't a foul.
Talking to him. You're right, it's either a foul or it's not. If it's a foul, it's a penalty.
Well, substitutions been made in amongst that. Lucas Haraslin has come on, and Schranz, who was shoulder charge off the pitch, hasn't actually had to come back on. He's the man that's been substituted. But yeah, very, very strange. And they've also just sent on Rigo, who is the hero in Luxembourg, and Duda is the man that makes way for him. So a double change for Slovakia with 63 minutes gone. Handball decision going against Haraslin. His first involvement is to give away a free kick.
It's been a strange 5 minutes.
It most certainly has.
We think that the Northern Ireland players are thinking that all the throw-ins are foul throws, and it's really getting to them.
Well, it's going to be Peacock Farrell to take the free kick well out of his goal here. Left-footed, diagonal. Goes into the opposition penalty area, headed on by Ballard.
You've got to react to that. We're too slow to react, and it's a great ball in, and Ballard wins it on the edge of the 18-yard box, but, it's too late reacting after he's headed the ball. You've got to be on the move, expecting him to win the ball.
Michael O'Neill hasn't made any changes as of yet. I wonder, will he start to think about doing that in the next few minutes? Slovakia looking for a way through. They got the break of the ball. Shea Charles back defending, got his toe on it. McCann moved it to Price, and now Devaney sends it long left-footed for Reid to run after. Northern Ireland get the ball back again, as they've done so many times, and Shea Charles with a nutmeg and a lovely touch from him. Bradley's gone down, there's no foul there.
And to be fair, Bradley isn't looking for a foul. I think the referee's got that one right.
Well, it's starting to open up.
Yeah. This is where we've got to slow the game down now.
Well, it's a through ball. McNair's been caught out. The keeper's been beaten, and the shot is agonisingly close to going in from Strelic. It's just wide from the Borough forward. And what might cause even more concern for Michael O'Neill, rather than that, is that the goalkeeper's now pulled up. Peacock Farrell didn't get a touch on it as he stretched.
I think he might have done, I think he might have got just the studs on it. It might have been enough, but the stretch that I think he's pulled a hamstring. I think he gets a little touch on that, and it was an awkward one the way he went down. But there's the warning we've been talking about the whole game, Michael. They have really come into the game in the last 5 minutes now, and I think we've got ourselves all annoyed about throw-ins that were not, giving us foul throws, free kicks that we didn't get. So we've got to get ourselves back down. Take the sting out of the game a little bit, and this will help us, the fact that Peacock Farrell's down, although I saw him at half-time as well, just before the game restarted, and he was out with an elastic band and the physio doing a lot of stretching, so I'm wondering, did he have a problem before the game?
Yeah, he stayed
down. But that was
down.
a golden chance, that was the one that they wanted, and I'm hoping against hope that's the only chance they will get, in the last 20-25 minutes or so that's left.
Yeah, some of the substitutes were combining there.
Yeah.
Peacock Farrell is sitting up. The referee's over to have a little chat and double check what's going on. It looks like he's going to try and continue. Conor Hazard was warming up back in the squad tonight. The Plymouth keeper. Luke Southwood also on the bench. He's had some wait to get back on the pitch as a Northern Ireland player, 3 years and counting now. But Peacock Farrell, with 66 gone, stays on for now.
The crowd are starting to do their thing, they're trying to make it as intimidating as they can for Slovakia. But we really do need a second goal just to see this out.
Big chat going on between Michael O'Neill and Dermot O'Carroll, as they assess maybe what they need to do. The introduction of Rigo sparked a bit of life in their attack.
Well played by Peacock Farrell again.
Charles. Ball forwards and finds Galbraith, who moves it left to Devaney. First time pass to Price. Price tried to get it across goal and couldn't.
Great play, beautiful play up the left hand side there, and the ball to Galbraith into to Price inside the box. He has to work harder. He has to work harder to get that past the first defender, and unfortunately he doesn't. But it's gone out for a corner.
So still just the one goal in this game, an own goal from Horosowski. Northern Ireland with a goal disallowed as well after Reid got the final touch, but he was in an offside position. Northern Ireland with the corner here, their fourth of the game. Charles takes it short to Galbraith, gets it back again, first time right footed pass deep to the far post, headed across goal, no one there to meet it.
Man, that was off the training ground, wasn't it? And the final ball was beautiful, and we just couldn't get anybody in the end.
And Ali McCann with a trademark sliding challenge right in front of us. That'll get the fans going again. Like clockwork, Ali. Any other game
it's
in
another
Group
foul
A?
throw. Every one of them is a foul throw.
I think it'd be quicker just to say when it's not a foul throw.
I don't think the referees know what a foul throw is anymore.
No. It's definitely not throwing it like that. That's not how it's meant to be done. Germany 4-0 up now on Luxembourg. Raum, 2 from Kimmich and Gnabry against the 10 men of Luxembourg. As it stands, 3 teams and 6 points ahead of Northern Ireland and Germany on Monday. But Slovakia looking to change things. Northern Ireland defending here as the visitors attack Devaney. That's really, really clever from him. Gets his body position right when it looked like he was second favourite. Steps across his man. Ball behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good touch by Yombard. He's pushed it past him, but Devaney had the pace and the strength, to see it out for a goal kick. Their substitutions have certainly made a difference, and they are well in the game now. And we were talking about trying to keep the pace up. I think we need to try and stick the sting out of it a little bit, because they're definitely in the ascendance here.
69 minutes played. Northern Ireland, Slovakia in Group A. This World Cup qualifier on BBC Radio Ulster, 5 Sports Extra, and BBC Sounds. Michael O'Neill's men coming into this game knowing that it's a must-win in many ways.
Yeah, and this is where the experience, particularly the 3 lads at the back, has got to come to the fore. They've got to make sure that they don't give anything away. And as I said earlier, they've got to keep driving the 3 or 4 in front of them and make sure that they don't do anything silly. Take nothing for granted, despite how poorly this team has played.
And as Slovakia showed against Luxembourg in what sounded like an underwhelming display, they kept going till the end. They found a goal late on there. So Northern Ireland know that they cannot rest on their laurels. They haven't done so far, which has been encouraging. Diagonal ball from Price.
That's a shocking ball from Price.
Galbraith couldn't control it on his chest, and possession turned over. Northern Ireland get the ball away. That looks like it's going to be a free kick to Northern Ireland, because the Slovakian player Strelic, who's very angry, he landed on the ball.
A little bit unfortunate. He thinks Shea Charles fouls him here, and when we see it again, I think that is a foul. But he's picked the ball up, and I think that's a good substitution. I don't think Reid's had a great game, and we know that Charles has a bit of pace in him. So hopefully, he'll cause them problems at the back and maybe hold the ball up a little bit better for us.
So a change in attack, Dion Charles.
I thought he might have made that at half time, actually.
Hasn't had a great time at Huddersfield so far, but on to try and get himself on the score sheet here for Northern Ireland. 4 international goals to date. Is there another goal for the home side to put this game to bed, or will the nerves continue to jangle for longer? It doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. This is much more, nervous than ever it was playing. Probably because you have no control of it, but you just want them to do so well.
Won the header there, but at the expense of a throw-in just over the halfway line.
But we talked about them being a young side and they needing experience. Well, this is the experience they have to live through. They have to be able to defend the 1-0 and give nothing away and settle for a 1-0 if that's the way it's going to be.
Should be some chances for Northern Ireland here, because Slovakia have to go for it. They don't want to be a goal down, obviously. Northern Ireland have it through Price, and Charles had just run into the centre of the box, and Price had aimed it a bit further on than that.
I think we needed a bit more, a few more bodies in the box there. You know, we didn't have too many green shirts in there.
Little encouraging spells, but just not quite clicking at times.
We just can't get the final ball at the minute.
72 gone. Slovakia in possession on the halfway line, sending it forwards.
Let them do that all day. You know, it's just a nothing ball. It's hit up into the 18-yard box, and it's near nobody, and all the way through the Peacock barrel.
We let it bounce a couple of times, let it sit in front of him, and waited to pick it up until there was someone right in front of him. Slovakia's manager, Mr. Calzona, continues to prowl his technical.
Lost our commentary team again of John O'Neill and Michael Clark. Try and get you linked up with them again, or if that fails, we'll rejoin our television colleagues. Jim Magilton's alongside me and George McCartney. Jim, just under 20 minutes to go, and we wouldn't say that Slovakia have come out and looked that much better. They've been slightly better, but they haven't been that much better, have they, really?
No, but they had that one great opportunity. Really good play, great pass, great run. Paddy's been caught ball watching and really should score. Other than that, no, not really. I just don't think. I think Northern Ireland have to be just more better with the ball. Just that final pass.
They have a free kick coming up on the right hand side, and Charles lifts it into the box, headed away. That's my commentary duty over for the night, I think. And John O'Neill and Michael Clark have been reconnected.
We've often been accused of being wired up, but this is ridiculous. Chance coming forwards there for Slovakia. Saur's ball into the box. Wasn't a wonderful one. He might have also kicked Shea Charles inside of the head, but fair play to Shea Charles. He doesn't complain. Nutmeg from Devaney, and then a really poor challenge
has to be a booking,
from Barrow. And the referee, rather patronisingly to Michael O'Neill, has sort of swatted away as if to say, "Och, now come on."
Seriously?
I mean, Barrow has just scythed down Isaac Price.
I mean, I was with Joel, when he said at half-time that he's happy for the referee to let these go, but I mean, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I often try and give referees as much of a benefit of doubt as I can, but just some things are plainly wrong, and that was plainly wrong.
I'd love to know what the assessor says after this game. It's really strange.
The really impressive thing about a lot of their mistakes is they're doing it right in front of their assistants.
Yeah, I know.
Where they have as much support as possible, but there we are. I'll stop ranting. Skriniar heads away, beat Ballard in the air. Dion Charles does well to manoeuvre himself between the ball and the defender. The ball's been played out to Northern Ireland's left, and Devaney, I wonder, was he trying to nearly dink that to himself at one point?
He was, but I think at the end of the day, the defender Duda was alive to it.
Slovakia. Oh, they've been given the free kick. And Conor, well, it's bad news, because Conor Bradley's going to miss the Germany game.
It's unbelievable. He's booked him.
Yeah, and he's going to be suspended now for the Germany match, so he won't be involved on Monday night. That's a huge loss for Northern Ireland.
I mean, he doesn't book Bradley there, and the decision before he waves away, Michael O'Neill will be absolutely furious.
There's no consistency at all in the second half, unfortunately, from the officials, where a minor coming together is a yellow card, but a very cynical foul isn't. But Northern Ireland, the consequences for them are huge, because the player that has been their star man will not be playing here on Monday.
I know. And that is a big, big blow, and he knows that. You can see it on his face as well. I mean, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. I wondered, did he do that because Michael O'Neill had a go at him? Because the foul that we were claiming should have had a yellow card was much more serious than that.
Well, what was also interesting is I watched it back on the monitor there. The assistant official who's right beside the challenge doesn't actually flag.
No, he does nothing, no.
So the assistant who's beside it says, don't think there's much wrong in that, but the referee's further away, sprints over to book someone. So the referee's assessor will need quite a few bits of paper tonight. Northern Ireland 1-0 up, 77 minutes approaching here. Slovakia have had more of the ball in the second half. Michael O'Neill, I'm sure the cogs are turning in his mind. Will one goal be enough? Bradley back trying to help out defensively. It was Ballard's half cleared touch.
That is a dive, and he knows that's a dive. That's a booking. That's a booking.
Should have been.
Strelic just threw himself on the ground with nobody near him, and he's right away. He's waved it away, so he must think that's a dive.
Yeah, the pass from Haraslan comes through. Strelic was actually outside the box anyway, so if he's trying to win a penalty, that wouldn't have worked for him. But clear simulation again. It went unpunished by the referee. Bradley having to put that frustration about his upcoming suspension behind him. Ballard, Price on his head, nods it on for Devaney. Devaney's challenge. Northern Ireland have the throw-in. Time ticking down at Windsor Park.
Yeah, that's where they got to take control of the game, just see it out.
Once more, the Windsor Park faithful try and encourage the players on. Shea Charles, he's gone for a goal. Dubravka flying, makes a save to his left.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones. He's done that for the TV, Michael. I mean, he could have caught that, and looks good on TV. But we'll take the corner.
You're very hard on goalkeepers, John. Northern Ireland have the corner on the far side. It's going to be Shea Charles across to take it. Northern Ireland coaches all sort of lingering at the edge of the technical area, shouting various things on. Don't think anyone that far away is going to be able to hear it, mind you, with the noise being made.
But this is where the experience has come in. We're struggling to get the second goal at the minute. The one that we want so much. So, you've got to make sure that even if it doesn't come, you don't give anything away at the back.
Corner comes in. Ballard was challenging, couldn't get his head on it. McCann was in there. Hume got his head to it, but it's been cleared away, and Bradley in the end just puts his foot through it, sends it over the advertising hoardings at the side of the pitch.
Yeah, lets everybody get back into position. All the defenders have been up there for the corner.
Big period in this match now, just over 10 minutes of regulation time remaining. Ballard's being held back, but he's strong enough. Out-muscles the forward, got away from him, got the pass, and Northern Ireland stringing a couple of passes together. Price with a drag and a flicked back heel. And Shea Charles plays it inside to Dion Charles, and Skriniar panicked, and he's ended up putting it behind for a corner.
It's a great ball from Dion Charles, but from Shea Charles, but Dion Charles doesn't react quick enough, and instead of us getting on the end of it, they're forced to put it out for a corner. But if he just reacts at a split second earlier, he's in with a shot on goal.
Just seemed to switch off for a moment, the forwards. Northern Ireland, it's going to be an outswinger by the looks of it this time. Devaney, well, he's actually left. It's going to be Shea Charles now, so a change in thinking. What can they conjure up here? Another goal would surely seal the victory, and a most crucial 3 points. And it comes from Charles, punched by Dubravka again.
It wasn't a bad punch this time.
No, it was better from the keeper, more authoritative. The ball being headed around in there. He's come off his line, he's nervous, it's hooked over him, and it's in! Trey Hume, with his first international goal, has won it for Northern Ireland. He's capitalised on a hurler from Dubravka, and Hume seals victory.
Yeah, it was a good punch the first time when it went in. He's cleared the 18-yard box, but when the second one comes in, he doesn't get anywhere near it. Hume's on the 18-yard box, and I have to say that's a brilliant finish from a centre half or left back. It's awful. He's punched it out. He's only got 5 yards outside the 18-yard box, and the goal is wide open, and great control, little lob over the rest of the defenders by Trey Hume. And sorry, just 7's coming on. 7's going off and 11's coming on there. I'm just watching the goal. I've missed all the substitutes there.
Well, we'll catch up with changes in a moment, but we're just watching that replay back again on the monitor. Fine finish from Trey Hume. Who would have thought his first international goal was a 25-yard lob? But that's what he's done. The Sunderland man strikes.
Well, that's the goal we were looking for, Michael. And now they've got to dictate the pace of the game. We don't have to go chasing anything now at the minute. We can take our time as much as we want and take our opportunities as they come.
How's your nerves now, John?
Well, I'll be happy when we get to 93 minutes and we're still 2-0 up. I think then it might he's off a little bit. But the next 10 minutes, Michael, we've got to make sure we don't give them anything back again. And they have to chase the game now. So, if we can defend well at the back, we should be able to, take opportunities of hitting them on the break.
Northern Ireland 2, Slovakia 0. It was Lubomir Tukta who replaced Leo Sawyer moments ago for Slovakia in the aftermath of the goal. They're trying to get themselves into the box, and their cross is beating everybody in Northern Ireland have a man down. Is that Galbraith?
I think it's Galbraith, yeah.
Looks like he's holding his knee, perhaps, is it? Or his thigh?
Might have twisted his knee, possibly.
A shake of the head from him.
No, he's put his hand up right away. I think he's coming off.
Well, the scoreline points to a very good night for Northern Ireland, but
the keeper had an absolute nightmare. He got mixed up with his own defender. I don't know why he didn't catch it. He's punched it. Why didn't he just catch the ball? Goalkeeper seemed totally reluctant to catch a ball at all now for whatever reason.
Well, Northern Ireland on course for their first competitive win against Slovakia. Beat them in a friendly on Aaron Hughes' debut at 98, but this is a big result for Northern Ireland.
You see this game out now. What's left, Michael?
6.5 minutes plus.
6.5 minutes or whatever,
They're bouncing everywhere you look, Northern Ireland fans. This place is shaking.
Delighted for the players, and again, it's more experienced of them. They've been in the situation where you're playing against a poor team and you just can't get that second goal. They defended well, a few chances, the one chance they had, obviously. I think Peacock Farrell might have got the least little bit of touch on it to send that out for a corner instead of into the side, the corner of the net. Now we've got the goal, with 6 or 7 minutes plus stoppage time. You've got to think we've got enough talent on the pitch to take the play and just see the game out.
Galbraith back on his feet.
Well, that's a shock, because if he's out and if Bradley's out, that's where we had our most joy in this game, to come up against the Germans. Now, having said that, Michael, we're not going to have as much of the ball as we had tonight, but certainly from the point of view of Bradley, not only from getting us up the park at times and easing the pressure, but as a defender as well against the Germans, he's definitely going to be badly missed.
Brodie Spencer on for him. Missed the last couple of internationals through injury himself, but back in the team. Slovakia being instructed to retake their free kick because they took it to the wrong place. 5 minutes of normal time to go. We're going to have a healthy amount added on, I would think, because of a couple of stoppages in this half.
Yeah, well, the one for Peacock Farrell took a little while.
Conor Bradley using his experience to draw the challenge, win the throw-in, eke away a bit more time. Michael O'Neill doesn't look like a manager that's winning 2-0. He's probably thinking already about losing a couple of people here.
I think he looks actually very comfortable, tonight.
Maybe I'm doing him a disservice.
He looks very relaxed anytime I've seen him up close, because the team have played well. And as I say, they had one chance and didn't take it. We had loads of chances, and 2-0 might flatter them a little bit.
Dion Charles nipping at the heels of Lubomir Shatka. Defender turns and plays it back to Dubravka, who's had a night to forget. Planted quite a few crosses and ultimately has contributed to a goal.
Yeah, I think Joe mentioned it at half time. He was reluctant to hold the ball or catch the ball. Oh, it's good play.
Really good combination of play down the left hand side. A little spin as well.
Just be careful.
Getting Slovakia into the box. Obert has a triple pike. Landed it perfectly. 10 points on the scoreboard.
Great block by Brodie Spencer.
I don't understand why he's gone flying through the air, though. He's on the ground looking at the referee as if he was fouled there. He definitely wasn't. Northern Ireland fans applauding as Ethan Galbraith makes his way past them and into the home dugout.
I think the supporters have played their part again tonight. I mean, I don't know what's the capacity here, Michael. Is it 19?
Yeah, 18 and a bit.
Yeah, they do make a lot of noise.
Slovakia getting into the box and the cross comfortably into the gloves.
Yeah, again, McCann done enough. He just gets enough of a little touch on it, stops it going across the 6-yard box and comfortably into the hands of Peacock Farrell.
Last roll of the dice for them.
They're making 2 substitutes with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
Laszlo Benez and Samuel Miraz.
I've always found out. I mean, I think I might have done it once, twice in my career, and trying to come onto a game, as a substitute and trying to get into the game, it's difficult to get to the pace, and they've got 2 minutes to do that.
Slovakia trying to set up a grandstand finish here.
Another dive. He's give it.
Well, right on the edge of the penalty area, this one. And
I'd like to see that again. I mean, again, if it's a touch, he's just felt the touch and gone down.
And watching the replay back, Haraslin has been touched on his shoulder, and he's holding his face.
But at the end of the day, I don't know why he's done that. As soon as he gets the touch in the back, he's going down. It's a stupid free kick to give away. I mean, he certainly wasn't caught on the face, but Jay Charles, he's put his arm on his back, and as soon as he felt the touch, he's gone down. So we got to make sure they don't score here. If it is, it's going to be an extra. Sorry, Michael, there's loads of substitutes coming on for you again there.
So it's Horozovsky who scored the own goal, and David Strelic who are making way, and Laszlo Benez is coming on, and so is Samuel Miraz, the double change that we were waiting to see. Benez, who I remember actually seeing get sent off at Windsor Park in an under-21s defeat that Slovakia suffered. That was a 1-0 loss against Northern Ireland back in 2018. Ian Barclough was the manager then, and the goal scorer was Mark Sykes. They're getting a free kick set up, Slovakia. Northern Ireland have their wall. They've got their draft excluder. They also have a Slovakian wall in front of the Northern Ireland wall, which the referee was just making sure was the required distance apart, which that's a very small 1 metre, I think. They tried to go under the wall, doesn't happen. Try a follow-up volley from Rigo, that deflects away. Obert has it on the left-hand side, shouts of offside, not given. And the attempt to spin into the box doesn't quite happen for Haraslin. He has a corner kick over on the far side.
Yeah, Bradley did well there because he was slipping all over the place and still managed to get a tackle in and get that out for a corner. I mean, you get this corner now, you defend it and the game's over.
So they had a corner on the other side, which was an X above their head. This one's an X in front of the chest. For anyone that's really into the set piece, whatever this means, does it mean play it straight to Brodie Spencer?
I don't know what it means.
That's what happened. They have the ball on the left-hand side here. They have a man over, but they look inside instead to Rigo. Slovakia, right-footed delivery from him, headed away by Northern Ireland's second goal scorer, Trey Hume. Ball on the halfway line. 8 seconds left of normal time.
You've got to get pressure on the ball here. You see this a lot, and then they don't come out and put pressure on the ball, but that's good defending from Northern Ireland because it keeps their head down. They can't pick out a pass.
6 minutes added on as we watch Obert's cross from the right drift all the way out for a goal kick. 18,109 in attendance tonight.
Yeah, and they've made themselves heard, haven't they?
They certainly have. We've almost played 30 seconds of the 6 minutes added on. Peacock Farrell striding back before he takes his goal kick.
No, it's not over yet, Michael. I mean, there's 6 minutes to go. They've got to make sure, that we don't give anything away and make it an uncomfortable last 3 or 4 minutes.
Leon Charles kept the ball in, had his left foot taken away there.
Well, I think it's the pitch, Michael, and they were watering that over there before the game. I don't know what the thinking was there.
Bradley has it near the corner flag. Let's step over, another step over, holding the ball in there, saying come and get it. He's now turned away from his man. He's got the ball back again. He's chopped inside. He's done a spin. He's been brought down. It's not a penalty. And in fairness, he might have just lost his balance because it was like watching a child play FIFA. He was doing all the skill moves of the day.
Yeah, he played that like a kid on the park. And I'll tell you what, if you can see the match tonight, or if you watch the highlights, if you don't see it now, it's so funny. It is so funny. That's brilliant there. And he was unlucky. He was unlucky right at the finish. You're right. I think the defender just gets a foot against the ball, and after that, Conor Bradley went over. But what a performance!
Well, listen to the reception he's getting as he comes off. Josh McGuinness is replacing him.
I said to you earlier in the game, you know, there's players you'd pay money to see, and he's one of them, because that is sheer entertainment there.
Yeah, he's tantalising, he's exciting. He works his socks off. Well, listen to the reception.
Yeah, I think we've lost that. So Jim is with me and George alongside me. We've lost Michael and John yet again. So Jim, we're almost there, and Conor Bradley getting that ovation as he goes round the pitch. He has thoroughly deserved it as Slovakia try to move their way down the left-hand side for Northern Ireland. It's Brodie Spencer who puts a stop to that, and it's going to be a goal kick. Bradley's just been absolutely brilliant yet again.
Yeah, magnificent. Right, sets the tone for the team just with his energy alone, and then it's quality with that. He's been magnificent, but he's devastated because he's going to miss the Germany game. That's the only thing. I know the win tonight is massive, but he'll be devastated now because he's going to miss the Germany game.
Northern Ireland's best player, George, by a country mile, and to miss him for the biggest game in the group, that's hugely unfortunate.
Yeah, and John touched on it earlier. They'll probably not have as much as off the ball on Monday night, and it'll be a massive miss defensively. Conor in there, but again, what he does give you on the ball is quality, his energy to drive you up the pitch against a team like Germany. I know it's going to be a big miss.
Well, as we said at the outset, it looks as if we are going to have this set of circumstances at the end of the evening where three teams, Northern Ireland, Slovakia and Germany, will all be on 6 points at the midway point in the group. The referee blows his whistle, a free kick for Northern Ireland. So cross your fingers and toes that for the next 2 minutes we get through uninterrupted with John O'Neill and Michael Clark.
I'm still looking at this donut that I have beside me. That's not John O'Neill, by the way. It's an actual donut.
I've been called worse.
I realised as I said it. I was thinking, do we have time to eat this? But no, our technicians have sorted the problem. So there we are. Northern Ireland launching the ball forward to McGuinness. He took a little bit of a push there, I thought, but the referee says wasn't enough in that. The ball in midfield now with Slovakia as they try and break. They're over on their far side. Moving it inside again, getting it to Matches Barrow.
Yeah, we've done well. They've given it away, and Brodie Spencer's intercepted that. But that's good defending. Everybody got back as soon as they tried to counter-attack. Made sure they snuffed out any problems.
Well, he's able to run, and he's a big strapping lad.
Come on, take him on.
Shrugged his man away.
Lucky.
He heard you, John. He tried to drop the shoulder.
He wasn't going into the corner. He was going straight for the goal. But it's worked out in his favour anyway. The defenders knocked it out for a throw-in over in that corner.
Yeah.
I was just saying, that I can't believe that this team beat Germany, and you think that had they lost against Germany, you're in pole position, maybe to pick up the second spot, and even if they had to drop that point against the 2 points against Luxembourg, you'd have been flying high.
As it stands, as Joel was saying, it's going to be three sides on 6 points, making things very interesting. Northern Ireland heading out to Slovakia next month, not before they play Germany. And who knows what could happen on Monday?
Well, I've always said, I always think we're going to get a big result in any of the groups we play in, and I'm hoping that Monday might be that, and it would be ideal for us if that was the case. But we needed to win this game, and we've gone and done it, and we've gone and done it in quite a bit of style as well.
Yeah, we're on the countdown now. 10 seconds or so remaining, and then we'll hear a big cheer at Windsor Park. It was nervy at times. Horozovsky's own goal on 18 minutes left us wondering, was one going to be enough? And then Trey Hume putting a bit of comfort into proceedings after Dubravka's error left the goal open. Hume still had quite a bit to do, but he lifted it over the keeper, and the referee is now playing at his own discretion as Slovakia try and get rid of an extra ball on the pitch and take a throw in on the far side. They know the gig's up.
Yeah.
They're playing out time. They're almost wanting to be put out of their misery. They ping a ball to Jomper. They've been allowed to take the corner.
What is he playing here? I mean, we're in the 6.5 minutes. What is he saw that he's playing this extra time for? I don't know. It's been a strange referee in this performance tonight.
And I was hoping the two of you would be friends. Corner to Slovakia. 7 minutes gone now of time added on. They've headed that actually right into the air. That's really impressive. It's a vertical one. Jomber has hauled his man to the ground, and the referee has blown the full-time whistle. And the Northern Ireland fans rejoice because it's job done. We all said must win. The manager didn't hide about how important tonight was going to be, and his players didn't hide. They rose to the occasion, and they got the win, John O'Neill.
Yeah, they won it in style. They won it comfortably, and I know, we were a little bit nervous for them, and maybe the players weren't as nervous as we were, or the manager wasn't like that. But they had one chance, Michael, and had they took that chance, you don't know what might have happened, but Northern Ireland thoroughly deserved to win this, if not 2-0, at least 3-0. They had other chances to do it. The only blight on the performance was the booking of Conor Bradley and missing the game on Monday. And the thing about it is it was a ridiculous booking when you consider what he let go maybe 2 or 3 minutes before that. But on the night they were brilliant. They did what they had to do, and now it's all down to the game on Monday, and it's going to be quite an atmosphere in there on Monday. And if Germany don't step up, we will cause them problems, because we caused them problems out there. And now at home, with this crowd behind us, you never know what will happen. And Northern Ireland are always, we're always prone to get a good result in the group, and fingers crossed that it might be on Monday.
Well, the first home game of this campaign for Northern Ireland ends in a win with a clean sheet, and it extends their unbeaten home run to 7 internationals. 6 of those victories. It makes for happy reading tonight. Northern Ireland 2, Slovakia 0.